All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Adam Phipps. I'm the Executive Director of Denver's Department of Transportation and Infrastructure, and we are here to celebrate the long-awaited beginning of a very exciting and transformational project, the 56th Avenue Travel and Safety Improvements. Today is a celebration of the investments and benefits that it will bring not only to the area, but to generations to come. It took a lot of people to get here today, and I want to thank a couple members of my staff. We've got a pretty big crew here today, but specifically our project manager, Katie Gargaro, our Elevate Denver Bond Program Manager, Jane Fisher, as well as Dana Hoffman, our community designer. All three of them, as well as many others, have spent many hours to get us to this point today. When Denver voters approved nearly $1 billion in general obligation bonds in 2017, they weren't just investing in important infrastructure like this roadway, but in our economy and our community as well. To that end, I'd like to introduce the city's Chief Business Development Officer, Deborah Cameron. Under Deborah's leadership, Deborah has improved and maximized the city's investments in business retention, expansion, and workforce development. Deborah?
Thanks, Adam. I'm not quite as tall as you. It really is a pleasure to be here today. And our office, the Denver Economic Development Office and Opportunity, we actually play three critical roles when there's infrastructure investments like this. Our Disadvantaged Small Business Office sets goals for the utilization of minority and women-owned business on projects like this. We also have a team that goes out to support the small businesses and provide stabilization support if there's small businesses that will be impacted. And thirdly, we have a workforce team led by Derek Watson. We got John Frondoffer, Gloria, and Duante here as well. But that team sets workforce requirements on these significant construction projects. And really wanted to give that team, along with our partner, our workforce development partner, Work Now, and Second Chance, who are also here, a really big shout out today. Just to give you an example of the impact that the work that they're doing is having, particularly on the Montbello community. Over 400 Montbello residents have worked on some of these city construction projects in recent years, earning close to $30 million and making an average wage of over $27.50 an hour. So that really is leveraging the investments that the city is making in these critical infrastructure programs. Today, I'm really honored to get to introduce an apprentice who is not working on this project, but is working on the Great Hall project, who's going to share a little bit about what his apprenticeship opportunity is the impact it's having on his life and his family. Dion, come on up.
Hi, my name is Dion Timmons. I've been part of Work Now for about 3 years now, and it's been a real game changer for me. I started off at the Great Hall project about 3 years ago, and I got introduced by a friend of mine, and it's been helping me get to work. They've been giving me gas cards and everything, and being a part of the Montbello community, it's been just so helpful to me. Um, and then watching this road work on here, because like I've been here my whole life. So this for this road for 56 is really amazing too, because I just see traffic is already picking up, and it's gonna just open up so many things for us as a community. And once again, Work Now and the community that they done for me, like they help me get to and from work, get me tools, get me boots. It's just been so much help, real game changer for me. So I really appreciate everything that they've done for me.
Thank you, Dion. We could not do projects and work across the infrastructure in the city without that commitment from you, so thank you. No one has been a stronger advocate for this community and the workers across the city than District 11 City Councilwoman Stacey Gilmore. Elected to council in 2015, Councilwoman Gilmore helped usher in over $250 million of investments for this area, including infrastructure, workforce, and many more. With a commitment to smart economic growth and a background in environmental conservation, her vision for this corridor and the connections to the Rocky Mountain Arsenal helped create the project that we're kicking off today. Please help me welcome Councilwoman Stacey Gilmore.
Well, thank you very much, Adam, and good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for attending the 56th Avenue groundbreaking. This is a historic day for our neighborhood in Montbello and the far northeast. There are so many people and organizations that made this project possible. I'd like to recognize and thank personally Mayor Michael B. Hancock, Department of Finance, Elevate Denver, Department of Transportation and Infrastructure, Ames Construction, Work Now, Second Chance Center, and all of the community and community organizations who have advocated for this project. A little bit of history about the far northeast and this area. We're right adjacent to the Rocky Mountain Arsenal National Wildlife Refuge. And so it's no surprise that with the arsenal and with all of the social justice issues and the pollution that happened out at the arsenal, we had a hard time getting the city and county of Denver historically to look at infrastructure improvements for our neighborhood. Montbello is the oldest still contingent African American community in the city and county of Denver. And so for decades, we didn't have the infrastructure improvements that we deserved and needed for our safety out here. And so advocating for the widening of 56th Avenue, we knew that that was going to correct a 2-lane country road sort of setup that was ripe for head-on collisions and no infrastructure to slow down traffic. And so advocating for this project is really near and dear to my heart because I've been a Montbello resident for almost 30 years. And it means a lot for us on the residential side of Montbello to be able to have safe passage, safe intersection crosswalks, also a multi-use pathway that we could walk or bike here to the refuge to enjoy nature and the outdoors and get some exercise. And we also have bison, we have nesting bald eagles, lots of wildlife. So as you might imagine, we want to encourage our Montbello and far northeast residents to use this great amenity, but we needed infrastructure improvements to make sure that it was safe for residents. And I have to thank the community and the voters of the city and county of Denver because you did this. We got it on the ballot, and that was quite a process as well. We got it on the ballot, but at the end of the day, the residents of the city and county of Denver voted for this bond project and made it a reality. And I just want to thank all of the construction workers who are out here, all of the engineers, all of the city agencies, and especially the city employees for all of the work that you've done. And this is going to mean the world to our residents for decades and decades to come. And so thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Your tireless advocacy continues to serve the far northeast extremely well. Without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce the man that made this project and so many other important infrastructure projects in Denver happen. Denver Mayor Michael B. Hancock has served Denver for 3 terms, and under his tenure, he's led the city out of the Great Recession, out of the COVID-19 pandemic, and continues to lead us in infrastructure. With a commitment to equity and a vision for social and economic success for all residents, Mayor Hancock guided Denver's recovery and allowed the city to build back better by leveraging billions of dollars in federal, state, and local funding, including more than $1.7 billion of general obligation bonds. It's my honor to introduce my boss and our mayor, Michael B. Hancock.
Thanks, Adam. Thank you all so very much. And I want to thank Adam Phipps, our illustrious leader of the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure, the entire team that's out here to make this project happen. And let me, if I can, say something about our councilwoman who represents all of us out in this area, Councilwoman Gilmore, for her tenaciousness. And I use that word tenaciousness instead of tenacity, but her tenaciousness, because she's constantly in motion and fighting for the residents out in this area. And I'm proud to call District 11 home. And I'm glad that she's also my representative. Thank you very much. You know, in 2003, when the people of this district gave me the honor of sitting in the same seat that Councilwoman Gilmore sits in today, I met with some residents out in this area, and one of the very first things they said to me is that we have got to fix 56th Avenue. We've got to find a way for these residents, for residents in this area to get off of I-70 and be able to come home without, you know, particularly when I-70 logs down, we can use this local road to get about. And we began the process of fighting. Now, if you told me that 17 years later, or almost 19 years later, that it would take 19 years to get this road, to break ground on this road, I would not have believed you at that time. Because in the meantime, what we've done is we've opened up the gates to the largest urban refuge in the country, right here in our own backyard. We've opened up a brand new open space park right here in our own backyard. We have created a gateway to the third largest, or at least the third busiest airport in the world, right in our backyard. And so Councilwoman Gilmore is right. When you think about the type of investments that should have preceded all of those great first and tops of whatever we're celebrating, 56th Avenue, the widening and the improvements of 56th Avenue should have been top of that list. And so this is a very important time, a very important project for us to stand here and to celebrate today. It's no small feat. It's why I wanted to be here, because 19 years ago, I remember being in Washington, D.C. saying, if you're going to open up the refuge as a public space, or at least a public attraction, you must improve 56th Avenue. And 19 years later, here we are celebrating this monumental moment. So let's thank again the people of Denver for voting in 2017 to make it happen. Please give them a round of applause. And Councilwoman Gilmore thanked all the right people, and I'm not going to repeat them, but I'm glad Ames Construction is taking on the helm here. But there were some names that were not mentioned, and if I can just celebrate them right now, we have a tremendous leader in Jane Fisher, who oversees all of our bond projects. Jane, thank you for being here. We see you at all of the opening of these events or groundbreakings that we're doing. We heard from Deborah Cameron, but I got to tell you how awesome it is that we can hire people in the community to take advantage and to be beneficiaries of the investments that are occurring here. And so we want to thank Katrina Worth, Executive Director of Center for Workforce Initiatives, and Khalil Halim, the Executive Director of Second Chance Center, for being here as well and helping us to move that effort forward. We're excited to have the arsenal in our backyard. I remember as a kid just playing football across the street on the tree line, the little parkway across the street. And if for whatever reason, the football or the soccer ball ended up over here, we were told you don't go over there to pick it up because there were bombs over there. And you could turn into a green-eyed monster. True story, if the ball went on this side of 56th Avenue, it was who was going to dare to go get the ball because of the scary stories that we were told. But today, we're proud that it's in our backyard, and we're proud that we're improving this roadway. And all I ask you all is, shh, don't tell anyone driving on I-70 that 56th Avenue has been improved or will be improved, because we don't want them to get off of Havana or Chambers Road if they're headed east and to use 56th Avenue. It's just for us, those who call this area home. Is that a deal? If we find out that you told somebody, you will be excommunicated from the far northeast community. No, congratulations, far northeast, and what a great asset we have. Thank you again, Adam.
All right, let's break some ground.